Body, the South African National Taxi Council, Bafana Magagula, joins us in the studio to talk about measures Santaco has put in place to minimize road accidents involving taxis. Thanks for joining me, Mr. Magagula.
You're welcome.
Now, we can't deny that the taxi industry is the most critical pillar of our transport sector. And it's usually government that's doing a lot of these Arrive Alive campaigns, road safety campaigns. What are some of the campaigns that you as Santaco have in place, especially during this time of the year?
Tabi, I thank you for the opportunity. I think as viewers have seen Mr. Zondi, who just announced that in KZN, all the regions, we have Locomella champions who were mending the roads, especially today. In fact, not only today, but we're intensifying our operations during this time, like your this Easter festive and other heavy traffic holidays. Santaco came up with a program called Locomella. This program is not much different from the Arrive Alive. We're enhancing the Arrive Alive campaign. However, what we did as the taxi industry, we said, you know, ministers have been talking road safety, and we are the people, as you have said, rightfully said, who are carrying a big number of people. More than 70% of people moving throughout the country are transported in our taxis. Then we decided to embark on a program and give it a different name. However, to do the very same campaign, Arrive Alive, in the name of Locomella, which is a program that we as taxi people owns to make sure that our it goes much. We thought this is a message that will go much easier to our operators if it is set by our own selves.
Now, you've just mentioned the program that you as Santaco have embarked on is Locomella. Now, with this campaign specifically, are we going to see any difference in the number of accidents involving taxis? I mean, realistically, what are you hoping to achieve with Locomella specifically and maybe other campaigns?
Well, Tabi, the program was launched on November 17, 2010, and since then, prior to that, if you go to the statistics, prior to that, taxis were contributing a bigger number of fatalities, and after that program, it is confirmed that the program has made a lot of, or a big difference, in so much that taxis are contributing far less than 10% of the fatalities that you find on the road. So we're hoping to keep on putting it on the ears of our drivers and taxi owners to make sure that they learn more and recognize more of our program to make sure that taxis that are on the road are safe.
Now, let's look at your members, taxi drivers specifically. What measures are in place to deal with some members who don't abide by the rules? Each and every association,
each and every operation has got a taxi association, and if a driver is reported, he will definitely be punished in terms of our code of conduct. Each association has a rule, a code of conduct in terms of how to deal with the driver. If a driver is reported, definitely I assure you that that driver will be attended to and he will be disciplined.
Mr. Magagula, let's look at the reality of the situation. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people complain about taxi drivers, from how they drive to how they treat some of their passengers even. What are the actual channels of complaining if a taxi driver is driving improperly or not following the rules of the road? Do you go to the association itself? Is there a number that people can call? Because I feel like people don't know where to complain to.
Yeah. Well, if people don't know in their respective destination or taxi ranks where to report, actually each and every association has an office where it operates from. However, those who are not able to reach those offices can reach us on 073 356-8500, and we will be able to connect them with those with the respective offices. If not, we go down ourselves and deal with the problem that is being reported.
Now, generally, society has very negative perceptions about taxi drivers, the taxi industry itself. What are some of the initiatives that Santaco is embarking in to kind of change these perceptions and show that this is a critical pillar of our transport system, and we are really trying our best?
Well, we communicate with commuter organizations which are in those respective places where we operate from, and we go down using media such as an opportunity like now, where we call upon our commuters to actually have a positive attitude towards the drivers themselves. I mean, because it also it begins with each and every one of us. How you act against me, it's how I sometimes respond to you. So we also appeal to both our drivers and passengers that they should respect each other. We preaching our drivers on daily basis to respect our commuters. However, through commuter organizations, we also try and preach the same gospel.
Now, just finally, looking at safety, do you have a word of advice for your drivers on how they should, shift the focus from only making money to the actual safety of the passengers? Because if passengers aren't safe, ultimately you won't really be making money, because you'll be in a car accident, your car won't be on the road anymore for a while. So it's a ripple effect, basically. So what advice do you have for the drivers when it comes to safety on the roads?
Well, our advice goes to both the passenger and the driver. One, the drivers, we say to them, look, they are the important resource to our industry. We need the taxi driver. He's our number one. He's the face. He's our reception. We also say that their lives are more important. When he's driving recklessly, even his own life is not safe. Therefore, we appeal to them to respect the rule of the road, to know that when they use the road, it's not only them, there are other road users. And to our passengers, we appeal to them not to allow themselves, because the passenger, it's him who sit inside or asks for a space on an overloaded vehicle. So we appeal to them as well to also make sure that they don't get themselves into a vehicle that is already overloaded, and to also make sure that they buckle up whilst they are in transit, and also to report using the number I've just announced. Should they try and actually speak to the driver and the driver respond to them negatively, we are there to assist them. We are connected to all associations across the country.
Yes, it's a two-way relationship, and the drivers must also be a little friendly.
Yep.
Mr. Magagula, thanks for joining us on the News at 8.
You're welcome.